Hi, this is Allison Huffman, and today we're going to dip bowls in a glue mixture to harden them so that they can hold their shape. These crocheted bowls can add a lot of fun and color to a room, but they look best when they are not too floppy and they can hold items a lot better. The items that you'll need today are a stir stick, a tub with a little bit of water in it, probably about 3 to 4 cups, some wax paper and plates, some extra water for just in case, some flour, and some multi-purpose glue, and also your crocheted bowls. So we'll start out by making the mixture. We put probably about 1 to 2 of the regular size glue all bottles into it, just to get it started. When you've stirred it all really well, you'll notice that it's still pretty liquidy. So we'll probably want to mix in a little bit of flour. I usually mix in probably about 1/4 of a cup each time. You want to make sure that you get all of the chunks out, because if there's still chunks of flour in your mixture, it'll end up in your bowl and it's really hard to get out after it dries. I like adding flour instead of more glue because it thickens it a little bit faster and it also uses less glue. It also seems to make the bowls a lot less brittle. They're a little bit more elastic so that they're able to bend a little bit, but they also just bounce right back into shape. Whereas I think if they were mixed with just glue, the glue's a little bit, it hardens a little bit more, so then it might crack the bowl instead of bounce back. This mixture also leaves the bowl so that it's not as shiny as it would if you were just mixing it with glue, because the glue has a really shiny property to it that the flour doesn't. But you also have to be careful not to put too much flour into the mixture, because then it will leave it too opaque and you'll lose the vibrant colors that you have in your yarn. One of the ways to catch all of the little chunks is to spin it really fast in one direction, so you have sort of like a little hurricane type thing, and then just stick your hand straight down and all of the chunks will sort of float right into your hand. Let's see. I think this one could use a little bit more flour. You want it to be kind of like a thick milk or like a cream. Just so that you know that it will hold the shape of the bowl really well, but it won't detract too much from the colors. Alright, this one's looking pretty good now. So you want to dunk your entire bowl right into the glue mixture. You want to make sure that the bowl soaks up as much of the glue as you can so that it goes through every side of the yarn, inside and outside of the bowl. You can sort of knead it a little bit in there to make sure that it goes through all the fibers. It also helps to gently wring it out as you take it out of the bowl, so that you can sort of squeeze it through, and then the bowl won't be as drippy, but it also will go through all the pores of the yarn so that it's going to be really strong. And that's what keeps it from losing its shape later on. That's what makes it so elastic, so that it will bounce right back into shape. You also want to squeeze out a pretty good amount because you don't want it to change the color of your bowl. And then, once you have it all squeezed through, you want to just put your yarn bowl on the plate with the bottom side up. You want to make sure that your bottom side is pretty flat, because that's the part that you want to have dry first. Then once the bottom has dried a little bit, you can flip it over and you can prop up the sides using popsicle sticks. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, you just want to make sure that you have some good solid sides to your bowl. Then you just let it dry. You can take it and put it in a relatively good location where you know that it will be safe and that it won't get bumped. But you also want to make sure that it has a pretty good amount of airflow, because the more airflow that you have in your house, like in the area that it's drying, then the faster it will dry. It can usually take about a week or more if the room doesn't have a whole lot of airflow in it. If you don't feel like crocheting your bowls, you can also just use regular fabric scraps or ribbon or yarn. I have here some yarn and bias tape that I'm just going to dunk in the bowl of mixture. You just sort of squeeze it in. Make sure that each piece is really good and soaked. And then you can drape it over a bowl that's been coated in wax paper. And then you just let it dry. And after it dries, it'll be a nice fabric bowl. If you don't want to make one of these bowls, or you like one of the ones that was made here and want to purchase it, you can go to my Etsy shop, Odd Bowl, and buy one there. Thanks for watching!